Tuesday? Wednesday night. Wednesday night. I know what night it is, probably. And as is now the new tradition, I'm going to set this over here so I don't have to walk all the way over there. As is the new tradition, we're doing cooking streams on Wednesdays. I cannot talk tonight. So, welcome in everybody. Today, especially since it's just kind of a colder, darker night, we're doing some comfort food. And as you can see from the little description of the stream, we're doing biscuits and gravy. And we're doing everything from scratch. It is honestly one of my favorite things to make. The first restaurant I ever worked in, one of my coworkers called me the king of biscuits because after 2 weeks the owner wouldn't let anyone make biscuits other than me. And also just breakfast food is dope. But yeah, let's just jump right into it. I'm decent in the kitchen. I don't know if you ever met him, but it was Julius who called me that when I was working at Cackalax. That was a fun job. But yeah, let's get this stuff going. No, I suck at things. Probably. Definitely. It's fine. Also, I'm super excited. I found a thing of decaf vanilla chai tea in my tea box. So I have something delicious and different tonight. Alright. Now, first thing, you gotta get your oven going. I already got it preheated. 425 for biscuits. That is the perfect cooking temperature. And now, first thing to do with your dough is you're going to do all your dry ingredients. So right here we have 2 cups of flour. I'm just going to dump that in a big old mixing bowl. That is more flour. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to grab some sugar. I'm going to do my best Vanna White tonight. And you're going to throw in a tablespoon of that. And then we have some baking powder as well. It can be used for both liquid and solid. It still has the cups. It does the same. I am also lazy because we're going to be doing liquid too, and I don't want to have to clean 2 things. Alright, next up, nice level scoop of tablespoon baking powder. What up, friend? Thank you for showing up again. And then next we add our salt. Honestly, I don't follow recipes for it. I just kind of toss it in. It asks for about a teaspoon. I prefer a little bit more, so we're going for about a tablespoon. We'll see if it's different. We're gonna hit the technical part here real soon. So the next thing we're gonna do, first of all, we got a nice little pastry cutter here that we're going to use to mix up our dry ingredients. Now here comes one of the most important steps. Hey, nothing wrong with that. Pork chops are always a solid choice. Alright, so next up we're going to do our butter. And the big trick for biscuits is... Do we have pretty much the same recipe? Is that what I'm finding out right now? Do we really use... Okay, but see, now here's the thing. Here is the cooking trick. Okay, well... This is... That is fantastic that we have literally the same recipe. Hey, pork chops are always a good option. I got no hard feelings, but yeah, cold butter, but here is the trick. And I know it's weird, but cheese grater. Fine cheese grater or a microplaner. We'll grab a whole stick. I'm going to use everything but 2 tablespoons of this. But it makes it so much easier and so much more smooth. So we're just going to grate this shit in here. Yeah, no, it's I would highly recommend you try it next time because it makes a world of difference. And I'll bring the camera in close when we go to mix this stuff up because it helps get those perfect smooth crumbs in that dough before you add the liquid. But that is the real trick is you want the butter to still be nice and cool, that way it helps mix through real proper. We got about a tablespoon left. Set that aside for that. And that way the heat of my hands doesn't mess with anything. We're just going to use the back of our measuring spoon to get the rest of that butter out of there. And excuse me while I rinse this since butter sticks like nobody's business. All right, now we come in for the close-up. Bringing you guys with me. There we go. How's that? There we go. Turn it a little bit. I'm gonna drink some tea real quick. Cheers, everybody. All right. So we got our dry ingredients and our butter in here. You could see if my lighting wasn't terrible. It mostly works, and then you're gonna take your pastry cutter and you're just gonna move it through, putting a good amount of pressure, start breaking that butter up. And as you can kind of see, we're starting to get some crumbs mixing through here. And get some of this knocked off real quick. So you start to get these little bits of crumbs coming together, and that's when you know you've got a pretty decent consistency, but you don't want any big chunks of butter. You really want this mixed through with your dry. Let's see how we're doing there. And always, every once in a while, make sure to check your pastry cutter. Make sure you don't have too much butter sticking to it, and go ahead and knock it off as well. There we go. All right, so nice crumbly goodness in there. Next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna add 3/4 of a cup of milk. Buttermilk is honestly the way to go. They are definitely more delicious, but also I didn't want to go to the store, so we're just using whole milk. But we got 3/4 a cup. There we go. Ooh, damn, it sounds like you do those pork chops real well. Oh, really? We're going to do that, because I do believe I have some lemon juice. You know what? You appreciate you, Rosie. I do. Where the fuck did I put my measuring spoon? It is in the sink. I will be back. All right, so now, everyone in the chat, I don't usually do this. We're gonna try it. If this fails, it's Rosie's fault. I'm just making sure everybody knows. Okay? It's not me. Oh no, I'm not wearing shoes. Fuck. All right, everybody. Free feet pics. Wait, oh, there it is. There you go. You get one. Everybody gets one. Okay. So, now comes the fun, messy part. We are going to add our liquid into our dry. And you're going to take your big old hands like my own. I usually just do one hand for this part. And we are going to really mix this up and get our dough forming. If it's ever feeling too dry, you can add a little bit more liquid. If it's feeling a little too wet, just add some more flour. There's always a little room for wiggle room. Damn it! My business plan has been foiled. Alright, and then once you got it mostly mixed in, you can start breaking out both hands. This is feeling a little bit wet, but also we have an extra tablespoon of liquid in here, so we're probably going to need a little extra flour. But we've got it mixed well enough that at this point, I forgot to flour my surface, so we're not going to do anything yet. Never put your wet dough on a dry surface unless you want a damn mess. Which, again, read my apron. Alright, so just fair warning now, anyone, if you find my feet pics out there, they are bootleg. That is not legal. Somebody is stealing my business plan, damn it. Alright, so we're going to add just a pinch more flour over the top. And then we have our nice little rolling sheet right here. Go ahead and give that a nice little flouring so nothing sticks too much. And now one of the big keys for doing biscuits is you do not want to overwork your dough. You want to get some real nice layers going through. But if you overmix it, you are going to end up with some very flat, lifeless biscuits. I'll show you some other tips for making sure you really get those things to rise. Okay. Feeling a little bit more flour. But now we're going to go ahead and start kneading our dough a little bit here. And if I was smart, I would have floured my hand before, but sometimes I do things without thinking, and that is okay. And also, correction, I am not dumb. Because I feel your words through the internet, Rosie. I said it, I did not mean it, and I did not flour this enough either. Pinch, pinch. There we go. All right. So you'll just kind of fold and knead it over a couple of times. I'm going to go wash my hands real quick. And you know, because I didn't think about the camera angle, apparently everybody's getting all kinds of foot pics tonight. So if you got a fetish for it, have fun. Okay. I forgot my rolling pin. I will be back. There's one thing you haven't learned yet. It's that I always forget at least one thing. Okay, now once again, we're working with wet dough, so you're going to want to flour your surface. Get just a little flour on your hand and roll it over your rolling pin. And we're looking for about... Honestly, I usually go about like a 1/2 inch thick on these. Don't want them too thin. And you don't want to press too hard, but also I can lift it up a little. As you can see, or can't really see, but we got some nice layers coming to this dough. And then the next thing, which is one of the most important steps, is we're going to cut our biscuits. But for doing that, there is a trick. Let me grab some real quick. Okay, so I don't have a proper dough cutter, but I have something to work for this. When you're cutting out your biscuits, you want something that has room for the air to escape. So if you, say, use like a glass or a mug or something like that, what's going to happen is when you press that down, it's going to seal your edges, and it is going to just be a flat biscuit. Whatever size it is, that's what it's going to stay. So when you use something like, say, a mason jar lid, or there are like specific dough cutters that'll have little holes on the side for some air to pop through, you press it down to get your biscuit out. Sticking a little bit. And voila, biscuit number one. I'm going to bring my baking tray over for you guys. The other thing about biscuits is you want these things to stay super, super close to each other. So when they are really packed in tight there, they have no way to spread out and grow out. They're just going to rise right up. And again, you are looking for some nice, light, fluffy, layered biscuits. There we go. And as you can see on the tray here, I'm a little bit scared for whatever you're going to say next, friend. All right. Now we're going to go ahead and just knead it back up so it is ready to form again. And we're going to roll it back out. Oh no. All right. I'm listening, but also terrified. Now, another thing you can do is you can just straight up use a knife to cut your biscuits out. I'll sometimes end up just doing square biscuits. They still cook and eat the same. But when you're rolling them out and cutting them out, you will want to do it 2, maybe 3 times. Because at a certain point, you're just overworking your dough, and again, you're going to lose those layers. You know what? This one we're gonna go by hand. This will be the Sean specific biscuit because it's going to be not the prettiest, but it's still going to taste the same, and that's all that matters. And let me drink some tea because again, tea is delicious. All right. So now, no, don't stick. Last one was a little bit sad, but it's still going to eat the same. Why? That's my main question. Why? Why is that a necessary fashion style? Okay. So, now, the next thing you're going to do, you've got an awkward little piece of biscuit dough here. And I know what you're thinking, what the fuck are we going to do with this? Well, friends, this is what I like to call the biscuit bridge. What this is going to do is you're going to take it, you're going to make it about the length of your pan, and you are going to set it in right up against your biscuits. So again, the trick with doing biscuits, and here, let me turn this up a little bit so I can talk to you guys face to face. So the trick with doing biscuits is you want to make sure that they are going straight up. Those things are going to rise. You don't want flat biscuits. You don't want fucking hockey pucks. You want something nice, light, and airy. So by really compressing them in and keeping them close together without like actually forcing them, you are going to give them no option but to rise up. And that is the most important thing. Especially at a school with stairs. Why are you doing that, friends? That's not smart. And also, my apologies that my apron is a mess. I keep forgetting to wash this thing. All right. So, our biscuits are cut up, ready to go in the oven. We've got our oven over here. Turn it this way. Over there. And it's preheated to 425 degrees. We are going to toss these bad boys in there. And the way I always do it is just going to go in straight in. So half these are at the back, half these are at the front. They're going to cook for 16 minutes total. But you are going to start off with 8 minutes. You're going to cook them for 8 minutes, and then you're going to do a 180 flip on those. That way, get some of this out of the way. That way they cook through nice and even. Everything's getting a really solid golden brown. Isn't it weird that with like more and more time, I just kind of feel like a crotchety old man who does not understand anything that people do? I hope it's a normal thing. All right, let me get you guys positioned over here. So while our biscuits are cooking, it is time to make some gravy. I don't know why I put my flour away. I'm going to need that. So we're going to start off browning our sausage. Personally, I always go Jimmy Dean. This is all reliable for me. We're just gonna pop this thing open. And we're gonna toss it in the pan. We're doing some sage sausage that I usually either go for sage or something really nice and hot from a sausage on biscuits and gravy. And yes, I am too lazy to wait for the pan to heat up. It's fine. It'll still cook the same. And as always, touch raw meat, wash your hands. And now I know this is always my favorite part. Is that homemade sausage gravy that just makes the dish. But now we're just going to stand here, enjoy a nice hot cup of tea, and wait for our sausage to cook. Which, you know what, since I did not have this on, we're just going to turn this up to high. Just looking to cook it all the way through, get it a little bit nice and browned. And then I'm not going to show you guys my ultimate secret recipe gravy. That is only for people I actually physically cook for. But it's still a really good gravy I'll make. Are you going to do pork chops again? You know what? You are being slow. Are we heating up? We are heating up. Usually what I do is I start heating my pan before I toss the biscuits in the oven, but I'm still working on that balance of talking to you guys, tell you what I'm doing, and actually trying to do things the way I usually do. Hey, you know what? If it works, it works. If I wasn't streaming, this would be one of those moments where I would get caught up on all my dishes because we don't really have much back there. But I'll do that later. And also, in case you're wondering, this is like not even remotely close to how messy I usually get in the kitchen. It's kind of a miracle that there's only a little bit of flour on me right now. But now, and I would bring, you know what? Fuck it, we're going to do it. I'm going to bring the mic over. Hopefully the cord is long enough so you guys can hear that screaming. Maybe kind of. Just a little bit. We're starting to finally get a little bit of cook going on this sausage. And especially since it's coming out of a tube, don't worry about playing with it too much. You can just keep poking at it, moving it around. It'll take plenty of time to brown, but it'll get there. And personally, I always make sure to use a nice full-fat sausage. That way we aren't having to add anything else when we go to make our gravy. We're just using the fat from that sausage. Don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with some nice butter flavor. Toss this over me off. Don't have nothing butter all over the counter. Sometimes I don't forget things. Ooh, that sounds good. I fully support that. Do it. All right, let's see. We have 3 minutes left on our biscuits. Our sausage is starting to get browned. Usually if you get this going when you put your biscuits in the oven, things are going to be done at the same time. And again, really the main trick with cooking is just timing. It's about getting that mental clock that says, okay, do this, 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 then this, and making everything come out in beautiful timing and, more importantly, in beautiful plating. That is a fair point. There are some times where Subway just It sounds so good. I'm grabbing some fresh parsley for later on that. What's your go-to order? So I think everybody does something a little bit different when it comes to Subway. Oh yeah, there we go. Let me kick the light on. There we go. Now you guys can kind of, well, you know what? Better lighting without, apparently. So we got our sausage getting nice and brown. Or maybe halfway there. Again, raw meat, especially either pork or beef, you're wanting to make sure that that is done well enough. There are so many foodborne illnesses out there. Don't get yourself sick. So you'll know this is done when everything has a nice golden brown, or if you like yours a little bit more done, you can get it like almost blackened. Whatever your preference is. Personally, it's all about getting just that teeny bit of crisp texture to the outside, but still having some nice soft texture to the sausage. And break it up as big or as small as you like. Usually I'll end up breaking it up pretty small so it cooks through faster and more even. But you still want it big enough that you got that nice hearty bite of sausage in your gravy. And there's so many ways you can do gravy too. Like I make a bomb vegan mushroom gravy. But I'm not going to overbook myself. We're just going to do the classic this time. Let's see, this is looking good. We are at 5 seconds left, so I'm going to turn you guys and bring it over here with me. Just to, oh, nope. There we go. Okay. So, ding ding, timer just went off for our biscuits. I'm going to come down. Oh, ooh, okay, I'll give you guys a little peek here. So, as you can see, it's not going to stop. So, these things have puffed up about twice the size that they were. You can see those flaky layers coming in. So, since we're at the halfway point, we're going to turn those 180 degrees. Make sure that they are getting nice, even cook on there. And then, if after the next 8 minutes they're not quite done, I'll turn you all back to the kitchen stove thing. If they're not quite brown enough for your taste, after that other 8 minutes, go ahead and turn them one more time, give them another minute or two. Obviously, the one thing that isn't really talked about is every oven cooks just a little bit different. Temperatures are rarely ever exactly what you're setting the dial to, so just use your best judgment, go for what you're looking for, but it's going to be roughly within a minute or two tops. Okay. Just about done on the sausage. And again, I don't like using real words, so if you have a problem with that, y'all can fuck right off. Life is too short not to be silly sometimes. And also enjoy tea. Okay. We're going to turn our heat down to about a medium now. What you got? Okay. Ooh, you know what? I dig it. I dig it. That is a very, very solid choice for a Subway sandwich. Alright, so now we're going to need two things. We're going to need flour and we're going to need milk. And again, just for this one, you're definitely going to want to use whole milk. I am not sponsored by Horizon. If anyone knows someone at Horizon, hook a brother up. I don't mind having a little extra scratch. Alright, so we got a whisk, we got our flour, we got our sausage rolling. Let me grab another tablespoon measuring cup here. And there should be enough fat rendered off in your pan that you shouldn't have to add any extra oil to this. So what we're going to do is, and we're going to do this 1 tablespoon at a time so we can make sure that we get it just how we want it. And you're going to make sure that your sausage gets a real nice covering of flour that starts really looking like a paste. And usually, I'd say about, fuck out of there, step down. Usually takes about 3 to 4 tablespoons. But again, never a bad thing to start small and work your way up. It is easier to add than it is to take away. If it's a little bit too dry, like this is looking like it might need a little extra something, you can add some butter or personally a little splash of olive oil. Nice. Because what we are doing here is we are throwing flour everywhere. We are making a basic roux, which is just your fat, which is typically butter, and flour. And what this is going to do is it's going to allow us to create a thick sauce. So we're going to make sure that our fat, which in this case is, come on now, get out of there, is our tiny bit of olive oil, but also the fat from our sausage, is mixed in just right with our flour. There's no clumps, there's nothing dry in there. And then you're going to get it just a little bit browned. For this, since we're making a gravy, you don't have to worry about it actually getting browned like you would a roux. Let's see here. A little dry still, so I'm going to add a touch more olive oil. And splash more flour. I am nowhere near as precise as I should be in the kitchen. Hey, you're good. Take your time. But as long as everything comes together at the end of the day, that is all that matters. And that piece of sausage was for me. That one is going back in the damn pan. Alright. So now we got what looks like a nice thick covering on our sausage. I'm going to turn this down just a teeny bit. We got 4 minutes left on our biscuit, so our timing is looking great. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add our milk. Now for this, it depends on your preference on thickness. I usually add about like 1.5 cups to 2 cups, but I also just kind of eyeball it. If you prefer a thicker gravy, then you'll obviously use less milk. If you like it a little bit thinner, go ahead and throw in more. The most important thing is you add in very slowly and gradually. You want to let that milk pick up your roux and really thicken up. I'm going to add this just a little bit faster. And then obviously once we get this thing cooking up and really flying, we'll add some seasoning to it. You can also get impatient like I do sometimes and just kind of throw everything in. And we'll turn this back up to a nice medium. And I want to make sure that everything is getting mixed in nicely. Now, the thickness comes when you bring it to a boil. So we are just going to keep stirring this, making sure that everything's getting mixed through. Let's see, we're already starting to thicken up a little bit, which is nice. I personally prefer a thicker, more chunky gravy. Like, not quite gelatinous, but I like it to really, really stick down. And I think we're a little bit light on the milk, so I'm going to go grab some more. I will be back, folks. You know what? There might have been more incidental feet pics, so enjoy. Okay, so our gravy is starting to really come together. We got, oh yeah, that's looking real thick, so we're going to add a little bit more milk in there. And again, just keep whisking it through. Keep working it in. If you like it thicker or thinner, or if you like it thicker, well, tough shit, you fucked up. If you like it thinner, add a little bit more milk. going to do while we're waiting for this is we're going to add a pinch more salt. And for me, the key to a really good sausage gravy is a ton of fresh cracked black pepper. It's got to have that nice flavor. And then sometimes if I'm feeling a little extra fancy, I will mix in some fresh garlic with my sausage. Other times, like today where I'm feeling a little bit less so, we'll just throw in some garlic powder. But you can season it up however you like. See, this is looking good. We just hit our timer on the biscuits. I'm going to turn that oven off. I'm gonna let this one roll for a second. We're gonna go ahead and turn this off. There should be enough residual heat on this burner that we can just let this thing thicken up the rest of the way. But if you look, it's starting to really, really get there. So we'll just let that reduce for a second. That will stay there. You know what? We are thick enough, so we're going to pull our gravy off the heat. And as you can see, you got that beautiful thick texture on that. And then check our biscuits. Ooh, yeah. Y'all, them biscuits are cooked. Oh, all right. Prepare yourselves. Look at this. Nice, even browning. You want them to puff up at least like 2 or 3 times their size. And then, for fun, you have your biscuit log to also enjoy. Let me wipe down my countertop. This is starting to get real hot. Okay. Apparently this, apparently this is not made to hold 425 degree shit for a solid 2 minutes, so that's good to know. Ooh, that is a very interesting choice. I like it. I would not have thought of that fear, but that's a good one. Okay. Knocking shit down. Whoops. I am a mess. All right.
Always a mess.
Oh my damn. Stay in the fucking.
For the
Shut
win.
up.
For the win. All for the win.
We're gonna set that down right
I
now.
love it.
All right. So now comes the best part. Now we get to assemble our biscuits and gravy. I'm gonna slide you guys back here. There we go. We got 4 hungry mouths in this house tonight. And, well, I'm working on it. Damn!
Hungry!
I am making you food, okay? All right. Ooh. 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 And now, I didn't mention it. You're going to want to put these just right on the pan. You don't have to worry about greasing it down or anything like that. They are just going to be ready to pop right off there. As you can see, first biscuit right here. Look at that color, and then here comes the fun part. Watch this. Bam. Oh, look at that. We got 2 kind of uglier biscuits. I can enjoy those. Gonna just pan up every single one of these except for one because I got somebody on a liquid diet in this house and I did not forget that. Ooh, oh, see, look at this. I went to pull it apart and a 3rd layer literally just came right off that. Oh, god damn. Now, another thing we can do before we serve is we have our little biscuit log here. It's definitely going to be too hot, so we're going to open it up. But you got to taste your gravy. You got to make sure that you got some good shit coming out. So, I will bite the bullet for everyone I love food, but also that needs more black pepper. There we go. All right. Are you even ready, yo?
Yeah, but first you said bam, and then you made noises like Little Richard, so I was really worried about you.
Honestly, I'm worried about me too. Alright, so I like a nice thick sausage gravy. Oh, you are really missing out, Rosie. You're going to be able to enjoy this eventually, but right now you're just going to have to live vicariously through a camera.
That's totally enough for
It's,
me.
trust me, I will very explicitly describe it to you. I will straight up a little bit more gravy.
Oh, the first one
Oh,
would be perfect.
perfect.
Yeah,
You want to be fresh parsley?
because I know Dad likes more meat. Sure.
Alright, another thing we're going to do is, if you were a fan, we got some fresh parsley, ding-a-ling. And we're just going to break that up over the top.
I don't think they can see it.
Well, they know. Rosie says hi.
Hi, Rosie.
This is my sister. She gonna eat some biscuits and gravy. This is not
They've
enough
seen
gravy.
me before.
I know they have, motherfucker.
Oh my god.
I am cooking for you. Hey, Mom, would you like a plate or a bowl?
I think she's
She left.
Yeah, she.
Why does everyone leave me? Are you surprised? When am I not Sassy Sean? Okay?
I like your setup on top of baking powder, is it?
Don't talk about my ghetto setup, okay? I do what I have to do.
You need to get one of those little things with the bendy legs.
But that costs money and I'm not making shit doing this. Alright, so my mom is currently on a liquid diet, so we have just a nice spoon or a fork.
Give me the meat. I want all
Does
meats.
meat
Fork
count
or a
as
spoon?
liquid?
Where should I meat?
That, you know what? It's thin enough. We're calling it. We're calling it.
Don't you dare water it down.
My God.
I'm not, my God, y'all!
Thank y'all.
Jesus!
Thank y'all.
Trying to make some food and do shit for the internet.
You sound like Ray.
I forgot what I was. God damn it, Rosie. Alright, and then personally, just a little bit of parsley for some color. And you know what, since I don't think you were here for the best part, Rosie, you get to watch the unveiling of a biscuit. Look at them. Look at them layers. Look at that steamy goodness. Alright. Now comes the best part of the cooking stream. Where's that? Is that good? That is good. First of all, a little tea to cleanse the palate. It is. First of all, thank you for that tip for adding the lemon juice. That definitely did the trick. Now it is time to eat. And you know what? Since, just like last time, there's still plenty of time left, we're just gonna chill and chat while I eat some biscuits and gravy. But, first bite's for me. Mmm. 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 It's good. It's real good. Don't mind my hair right now. It is exactly what you think. That is You see nothing, okay? Okay, I know I'm supposed to be talking to you guys. Whew. I have a tendency to breathe in food. That is not smart. I know I'm supposed to be talking to you guys right now, but also I'm gonna have to make out with these biscuits for a second. I hope you understand. Somebody needs to get working on either smell-o-vision or a way to taste things through the internet so I can actually share this shit. Ooh, nice. That sounds bomb, but it's not as good as these biscuits. Where's my tea? Breathing in food. Again, king of biscuits over here. Breakfast food is one of my favorite things, and there's also some good nostalgia attached to this. So, back in my late teens, or I guess it was early 20s, anytime I'd go to a concert with a couple of my oldest friends, we would end the night after going to Denny's and get some $4 biscuits and gravy. And even though it was Denny's cheap, getting exactly what you paid for, biscuits and gravy, it was still so much fun. And like, I think it would have been, I think it was either 6 or 7 years ago, I reconnected with a friend from junior high school through one of my best friends who I've known since like, I think kindergarten. And we got to hang out at a Less Than Jake concert. I really liked ska at the time. Okay, don't judge. It was still a fun time, but we did that, and then it was the concert was the day before Thanksgiving. The show got over at midnight, so technically my first Thanksgiving meal that year was with about 4 friends around a Denny's table eating some cheap biscuits and gravy. And honestly, that might have been the best start to any Thanksgiving I've ever had. I mean, your teacher's right, but also, fuck that. These are all for me. They're lucky I shared some with them. I need some water. I'll be right back. But also for your patience, here's my foot. There's a little bit more action. Okay, my legs are sore from deadlifts yesterday. Jesus fucking Christ. I'm fine. I'm not old. I'm a little old. Oh yeah, and also, here's my ghetto camera set up for when I'm cooking for you guys. I'm sad they're almost gone. And I'm sorry, this is probably the most sexual stream you guys have had, considering there's been a lot of my feet and also just me moaning, eating food here, but this is really fucking good, okay? Don't judge. And you know what, since I got a little bit left on there, that's all anybody needs in life. We still got a little bit of that delicious gravy left, so here's where that biscuit log really comes in handy. I'm gonna eat this. Just, I would say, fill up a fucking bag with it, put a needle in my arm and inject it, but I couldn't taste it that way. Happy Wednesday, everybody. This is... Or would I discover a new gravy-based superpower? Has science ever really tried, Rosie? Okay, I won't inject myself with gravy. Fuck. Harsh and mellow over here. Happy Thursday to you, friend. I forget that you are 14 hours ahead. I want to be feisty because I'm being extra spicy, Sean, tonight, but you know what? I appreciate that you do. Half heart, because my other hand is holding this plate. We'll set it down. Full heart. Oh, I don't have a functioning brain right now. I don't know why I said 14 hours. I think the reason I said 14 hours is you mentioned 14 hours till dinner. It is. That's right. And you know what? I'm supposed to leave some of this for. Shut up! I'm not gonna have a food coma. That was good. Bite the bullet. Do it for science. Also, nobody ever fucking listened to me. Whew. I'm gonna need to go change. I didn't double the recipe. You're the best roast game. You kill me. I would double down on the recipe, but also, I do not need to eat that much food. Already, this is everything I don't typically eat. I have been so strict about my diet for the last, 10 months now? 11 months. Okay. PSA, everyone. Don't inject your arm with gravy. Don't inject your arm with gravy. Yeah, no, it's been 11 months now since I started doing that fitness diet that is super low fat, fairly low carb, fuck ton of protein. The main thing that I do is I eat 150 to 200 grams of protein a day. That's not always a fun thing to have to choke down, but you do what you have to do. But a lot of egg whites, turkey bacon, and a bunch of fresh veggies for breakfast. Sometimes I'll toss in a bagel or make it into a little burrito. It's not a long-term thing, trust me. And at this point, I think I've cut down to probably about 100 grams a day. I'm nowhere near as intense as I was about it. That was how I managed to put on, what was it, put on 30 pounds, right? Yeah, 30 pounds in 6 months with only gaining 2% body fat. It was weird. Okay, we're not going to talk about people listening to Trump. We're not. I do. Yeah, no. Fats, I'm not saying my body fat is 2%. No. I went from 12.5% to 15% by the end of the diet. Now I'm back down around 14-ish%. I still got a little bit here and a little bit there, but that's okay. I am who I am, and also cheese is good. I've started eating cheese again, just once a day because cheese is just too damn good. I am taking care of myself. I promise you. I have a few reasons to live. But yeah, no, it was. I do egg whites, turkey bacon, a little bit of cheese, whole bunch of veggies for breakfast. Cheese is the best. I was the head chef, executive chef, whatever the fuck they called me, of a grilled cheese and mac and cheese restaurant, and that was honestly one of the best jobs of my life. I ate so much cheese. But yeah, I'd eat that for breakfast. I'd have a handful of almonds and a protein shake. That was where we met. It's more than just the fact that that job was fun. That's right. Also, fun fact: when I bought those two coupon things from you when you were working at the fondue place, I definitely only used one and still have the other one in my wallet to remember you sometimes. I'm weird. I think that's just a dog thing because my dog loves cheese too. I am who I am, okay? You're getting to see a side of me that you have not seen. This is me. But yeah, no, Corbin can tell you a little bit about how fucking miserable I was during some of the time of that diet. Like, for dinners a lot of the time I do protein pasta with balsamic vinegar, some seasoned ground turkey, and sauteed mushrooms and onions. And there were a couple of times where it took me like an hour and a half to eat because it wasn't good, but I had to eat it anyway because I needed enough food to keep going. And I don't miss those days. I really don't. I'm glad to be having a little bit more of a you're too fucking sweet, Rosie. What? Why am I just now finding out that's what happened? Because it was about a year ago that I came in for that. Yeah, it sounds like your manager was awesome. You. I'm sorry, we're dealing with too many emotions. I mean, at least you've had a cool manager. I've had nothing but disaster managers, but hey, that is life sometimes. Glad to hear. You know, you could have just said that. You didn't have to send it in chat. I know you're watching me in there. You know what? I think technically I do kind of count as being your manager. Because I was technically the manager for like the what? 2 months? 3, 4 months before I left? We all left? You did. Thank you. I definitely look a lot different now than I did back then. Appreciate you. That's fair. That's fair. And I mean, honestly, it's not like I'm that different. Like, I'm just. It's really more my face that looks different. Physically, I'm just a little bit more muscular, but not that much different. I look like a completely different person because my soul's not dead anymore. I have an actual genuine smile now. It feels weird. Why did I still have teeth. Fuck it. Thank you. I appreciate that. That is what's different. The smile isn't hiding that I'm dead on the inside anymore. I'm gonna behave myself. Those 2 biscuits are staring me down hardcore, but I'm gonna behave myself and I'm not gonna eat them. No, I really fucking want to. That was a good ass meal, you guys. Don't act like you know me. It's not like you definitely do. I love you. They don't know a thing. I'll be gentle. Sometimes I don't know why I say the things I do. You're totally good. I'll text you when I'm done, but also we're officially at the 8 o'clock mark, so we're gonna call the stream so I can go clean up the mess that I made. It was also absolutely fucking delicious. Thank you guys so much as always for joining. It is a blast to have you all here. I'll be back on Friday night with my man Trustworthy Moose to do some more of our hardcore remnant playthrough, which is actually, fingers crossed, knock on wood, gonna go all the way to the end. And yeah, if you have any suggestions for next week's cooking stream, let me know. The email is now on my channel. I'll actually start getting into a habit of checking that to make sure I don't miss anything. But otherwise, yeah, thank you guys so much for joining. It is always a blast to do this and hang out with everybody. I will see you Friday night. Thank you so much for being here.